do good. And today is the end of my tenure as chair. So again, I want to thank everyone for this opportunity. So at this point, I'll see if there's an election of officers. And before I do that, I don't see anyone that wishes to make any comments. Supervisor Dillon.
Well, I'm ready to proceed with a motion.
Okay. Go ahead. I don't see anyone else.
All right. I move that we appoint Ryan Gregory as chair and Brad Wagenknecht as vice chair.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor. Any discussions, questions? Supervisor Wagenknecht?
First off, let me thank you for being chair for this year. It probably feels like dog years that you've been here for 7 or 8 years as chair. I even see some little gray hairs coming out of the.
It's just a shorter haircut than normal, that's all.
I appreciate the leadership that you've shown for this year. And we put great trust into you for this year, and that doesn't mean we haven't disagreed on things, but we put trust into you and so thank you.
Thank you
for that. And it was fun to get to roast you a little bit yesterday with the Farm Bureau, and that was very nice.
Some of you took the roasting to a different level.
Well, some of us have further back to remember you.
7th grade teacher, Mr. Wagenknecht.
I'm a huge fan of Ryan Gregory, so this isn't anything about Ryan Gregory on the motion. I think there's some real value to having an orderly, thoughtful rotation of the chairs. I was thinking back as I was thinking what would happen today, and I said, if I had been up for the chairs in year 2000, I would have asked to rotate out, because that's the year my wife died, and I took over being a single dad, and so I would have asked, because I know I wouldn't have been able to do it that year. And I think we have that mechanism when Bill Dodd was elected and came in and would have been chair. We allowed for the change of the switching of the chair for that year, and when Supervisor Ramos was elected and was coming in as chair, we allowed for her for Supervisor Pedroza to remain chair for a few more months, asked him to remain chair for a few more months so that she could get her legs under her and then become chair. I think that's the right way to do this. I think we have to trust each other to be the professionals that we know we can be. So I'm not going to.
Okay.
And I appreciate it is the rotation for me to be the vice chair, so I appreciate that.
All right, there's discussion, and we still have a motion on the floor, so I'll see if there's any additional comments or a second on the motion. Okay, Supervisor Ramos.
Thank you. Understanding that we as a board have memorialized on our December 17th meeting a change that is, as Supervisor Wagenknecht said, was always assumed, and as Supervisor Dillon in making that motion said, was part of our normal business dealings here at the county. I think it's important to look beyond what what this is attempting to do, which is to skip over, not me as an individual for chair, but to skip over my district's opportunity to serve in the chair position. There's a reason towards the tradition of rotating chair that this county has held dearly since 1994, and that each of us have benefited from, and in particular, two supervisors have benefited from numerous times. And that is to give each of our districts the opportunity to be lifted up, to be part of the discussion, to be able to highlight those districts, and to also give each of us an opportunity to serve in the entire county in our capacities, in this ceremonial capacity as chair. I am ready, willing, and able to serve as chair, and I would like consideration of that, regardless of what the vote will be. I remain committed to serving my district and serving this county, but I do think that it's important for this body to demonstrate outwardly to the county that we are not looking at individuals, we are looking out for the county, and that the 5th District deserves its time to serve as chair.
Supervisor Gregory.
Before I second the motion, I'd like to agree with Supervisor Ramos and say that some discussion should be had moving forward as to how to get back on track. I do respect that rotation of districts, but with that, I will second Supervisor Dillon's motion.
Okay, so we have first and a second. The buttons are not working here, so I'm a little bit handicapped. I don't know who's clicking their lights. Is there anyone else that wishes to make a comment on this before we? Supervisor Dillon's your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to say, as to this district issue, I'm just going to say I feel there's been a disproportionate emphasis on districts since probably since 2017, 2018. We've had this emphasis on D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, and being chair has nothing to do with elevating your district, has nothing to do with highlighting your district. I think that's a red herring, frankly, and there are extenuating circumstances that I believe make it in the best interests of the county that Supervisor Gregory and Supervisor Wagenknecht
We have a motion.
serve in the next year.
All right, we have a motion on the floor made by Supervisor Dillon, seconded by Supervisor Gregory. I'm going to call the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oppose?
No.
Motion passes 3-2. Congratulate. We're going to break for a quick recess, and then we'll come back with Supervisor Gregory chairing the supervisors. Thank you all. And Neha, can we try to